Hey guys, next up in the workshop, we've managed to capture something that the BPRD has been looking for a long time. Hey guys, welcome back to the workshop. I will be continuing on working with the Blood Queen. And we're working with the reds right now. So now we go to the next level of red. We're done with the base. My next level of red is Evil Sun Scarlet. That's going to be basically the same thing as what we're going to be. It's what we did before. I will be using a thinner brush. To work with some red. I need a little bit more control. Again, we're going to thin it down. We're going to work from the tip of the folds down. And we will start bringing this girl to life. The folds of the red cloak will is where all your motion, you want all your motion to be. And you can bring the lighter red in some spots. Just a little bit further into the fold. But you mostly want to stay kind of on the tops. Tops of the folds. I'll pop out that detail. Not a big deal. Again, we're going to go to our, make it look bigger to get the folds on the arm. Yeah, so take your time, be nice and slow. Keep as fine a point on your tip as you can on your brush. To get those folds and highlights. Start coming up for you. Like I said, in some areas you can take a little bit of license. But you're mostly working right on the tip of the folds. And but you know, like I said, you can bring in the lighter color in some areas. It'll look good. It'll look right. This one's a lot of by eye, sort of how you think you want it to look. Do you want those folds to be really light, or do you want them just to have it on the edge? Well, think of like I've always said, miniature painting and how you want them to look is kind of up to you. It's really kind of a you game. How realistic do you want it to look? How cartoony do you want it to look? How maybe you're really good at doing that supercell animation style. And that could look super cool. You know, maybe you have, which I don't. Maybe you have the ability to make these miniatures look like they do from the comic book. And that's pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. At least I think it would anyway. Me, on the other hand, I kind of paint. Can't really say it's hyper realism, but you know, there's realism to it. I'm trying to paint it how I think the robes and the folds might look, you know. And you know, they're actually billowing and blowing around in real life. I don't know. They're kind of like my, you know, sort of realism, sort of not. I don't know. Not bad. Not bad. Kind of the last check over before we go on to the next layer of color. spots that I think I may have missed. There we are. I think our cloak is looking quite nice. We have our third layer color on. I know we haven't even addressed the hair yet. We're just working on the red. But to let you know that the red is just about done. We have one more tiny bit to do with the red, and the red is done. We go to our third color, which is Wild Rider Red. It's kind of an orangish sort of color. And all we're going to do with this is just pick out a few spots. Just a few. Again, using our Make It Look Bigger machine. And do the same thing. Take a little bit out of the pot. It's more than we need. Thin it down. And then all we're going to do, literally all we're going to do, is just pick a few spots few highlighted spots on the cloak. We'll get this orangish color. Mostly you want it for the sharp edges. On the cloak. And again, you do not have to pick every edge out. I know it looks like I'm doing it, but as you see, I'm not picking out every edge. I'm not going all the way up. I'm just picking small parts. Now, granted, she does have a lot of sharp folds and sharp kind of edges in the fabric, so there's going to be more than kind of what I normally do. Trust me, it'll look good. Stuff getting all over my brushes. You can even do a little bit on the edges. Cloak. You don't want too much. Yeah, just a little. Back around to the front. And then just a little here and there. I mean, she's got some super sharp pieces of cloth. And we can get a little bit more than what you normally do, but that's okay. There we are. Red, pretty much complete. It looks pretty darn good. I think that we have a nice solid base. Now we're going to move on to the skin. So we've already based the skin. The Bugsman Glow, which is kind of my standard go-to. And then we are going to take Cadian Flesh, which again is also my standard go-to. And we are going to cover all of that Bugsman Glow with the Cadian Flesh. I love this make it look bigger machine. Now here we're gonna just do a nice thin coat. Neatly as we can. Try and avoid wrecking the red. And we spent such a great amount of time doing. And just slowly and carefully build the skin tone up to the Cadian flesh. Need a lot of twisting and turning and getting in tight spaces, and again trying your best to not get that red. The last part that we're going to do, of course, is the face and neck. And again, we are going to be as careful as possible. Alright, now that we have the Cadian flesh done, the very last thing that we're going to do today is we are going to give it a quick wash with our Wrinkling Flesh Shade. Use this slightly thicker brush than the detail brush. We are going to go to my old handy dandy trusty medium layer brush from Games Workshop. The reason why we're doing that is because we really want control over the wash. We don't want it too pooly. You know, we want it pooling in the right spots. We don't want it, see how it's just kind of glopping. And as you use up the shade, you can go back, soak it up, and put it into spots that you do need it. And that is what we are going to do and end today. There we are. And now we're going to wait for that to dry. And looking at the clock, it seems like today is over for another week. I know. You're sad, I'm sad, everybody's sad. Everybody wants to hang out with the Paint Slinger. And that's okay. The Paint Slinger loves to hang out with all of you too. But in the meantime, please, be safe, stay safe, and for gosh sakes, paint safe. Alright? Until next time, we'll see you in the workshop.